Hello, ancient mysteries lovers. Today we are going to take a journey through the most fascinating and influential myths of mankind. From chaos to cosmos, from gods to heroes, from love to tragedy, we are going to discover stories that have shaped culture, art, and in our understanding of the world. Get ready to learn what the history books never told you. Meet our top 5 craziest myths. Myth 1. Creation. Myth, the essence. This is a fundamental myth that attempts to explain the origin of the universe, the earth, humans, and all living things. It answers the question, where did we come from? Creation myths vary widely, but usually include the following elements. Initial state. Often the world begins as a void, chaos, a formless mass, or some primordial state from which everything is born. Creator is. Usually there is some divine being, group of gods, or even a cosmic force that initiates the process of creation. The process of creation. This may include the gradual ordering of chaos, the separation of the elements, such as the separation of heaven and earth, the birth of gods and humans, and the creation of animals and plants. Purpose. Creation myths often include an explanation of the purpose of human existence, its place in the universe, and its relationship with the gods. Examples. Greek mythology. Chaos gives birth to Gaia, earth, Tartarus, underworld, and Eros, love. Gaia gives birth to Uranus, a sky, who marries her. Their children are the Titans, including Cronus, who overthrows Uranus. Cronus and Rhea give birth to the Olympian gods. Norse mythology. In the beginning was Ginnungagap, chaos. From ice and fire, the giant Ymir is born. The gods Odin, Vili, and Ve kill Ymir, and from his body create the world. His flesh is the earth, his bones are the mountains, his blood is the ocean, his skull is the sky. Bible, Book of Genesis. God creates the world in 6 days. Light, sky, earth, plants, heavenly bodies, sea and air animals, and then man, Adam and Eve. Chinese mythology. Pangu, the primeval giant, is born from a cosmic egg. He separates heaven from earth. When Pangu dies, his body turns into mountains, rivers, plants, and animals. Meaning, creation myths are fundamental to understanding culture, religion, and worldview. They provide answers to questions about the origin, meaning of life, and the place of man in the universe. Myth 2. The Great Flood, substance. This myth tells of a global flood that destroys most of humanity and of the survivors who become the ancestors of a new generation. It often serves as a metaphor for purification, punishment, rebirth, and the beginning of a new cycle. Common elements, cause of the flood. Usually a flood is the result of the wrath of the gods caused by the sins, evil, or immorality of humanity. The chosen ones. The gods warn one righteous person, sometimes his family, of a coming flood and command him to build an ark or ship to save himself. Salvation. The survivors gather animals on the ark to preserve life on earth. Flood and survival. The flood lasts for a certain time, and then the waters begin to recede. The ark lands on the ground, usually on a mountain. A new beginning. The survivors leave the ark, make sacrifices to the gods, and make a covenant with them, marking a new beginning. Examples. Bible, Genesis. God decides to destroy sinful humanity with a flood and commands Noah to build an ark to save his family and animals. After the flood, God makes a covenant with Noah, promising never to destroy the world with a flood again. The covenant is symbolized by a rainbow. Sumerian mythology, Epic of Gilgamesh. The gods decide to destroy humanity with a flood. The goddess Ea warns Utnapishtim, who builds an ark to save his family and animals. After the flood, Utnapishtim is granted immortality. Ancient Greek mythology, Zeus sends a flood on humanity for its sins. Deucalion, son of Prometheus, and his wife Pyrrha are saved in the ark. After the flood, they restore humanity by throwing stones behind them. Deucalion's stones turn into men, Pyrrha's stones into women. Meaning, the flood myth serves to warn about the consequences of sin and evil. Emphasis: the importance of righteousness and obedience to the gods. A firm belief in the cyclical nature of history, destruction and rebirth. Establish a connection between gods and people, covenants and promises. Myth 3, Oedipus. Synopsis. This is a tragic story about a man who, unaware of his destiny, commits terrible acts foretold by an oracle. The Oedipus myth explores themes of fate, providence, free will, guilt, insight, and the consequences of one's actions. Key elements. Prophecy. Oedipus receives a prophecy that he will kill his father and marry his mother. Efforts to escape fate. Oedipus's parents, King Laius and Queen Jocasta, attempt to escape the prophecy by ordering the death of Oedipus as a newborn. Life of Oedipus. Oedipus survives, leaves home, and goes on a journey. Murder of his father. At a crossroads, Oedipus comes into conflict with a stranger and kills him, not knowing that he is his father, King Laius. Marriage of his mother. Oedipus arrives in Thebes, solves the riddle of the Sphinx, and marries on Queen Jocasta, his mother. Discovery of the truth. An epidemic breaks out in Thebes. Oedipus learns the truth about his origins and the crimes he has committed. Consequences. Jocasta commits suicide. Oedipus blinds himself and leaves Thebes. Examples mostly from Sophocles' Oedipus the King. Sophocles' Oedipus the King, the classic version of the myth in which Oedipus blinds himself after learning the truth about himself. Sophocles' Oedipus at Colonus, a continuation of the story, with Oedipus taking refuge at Colonus. Meaning, the Oedipus myth explores the inevitability of fate. Is it possible to escape a fate determined by the gods? Free will. How free is a person in their decisions if their fate is predetermined? Guilt and responsibility. How is a person held accountable for their actions, even if they were unaware of their consequences? Insight. How can the painful discovery of truth lead to self-knowledge? Parental complexes in psychoanalysis. This myth gave the name to the Oedipus complex, which describes the subconscious attraction of a child to a parent of the opposite sex. Myth 4, of Heracles or Hercules. Substance. This is the myth of the great hero, son of Zeus, Jupiter, and a mortal woman who is known for his incredible strength, bravery, and for performing 12 labors to atone for the madness sent upon him by Hera, Juno, the wife of Zeus. Key elements. Birth of Heracles. The birth of the hero, his superhuman abilities. Hera's hatred. Hera, jealous of Zeus, persecutes Heracles from childhood. Madness and murder. Hera drives Heracles mad, in which he kills his wife and children. 12 labors. Hercules must perform 12 incredible labors to atone for his guilt. Each labor is a difficult task that requires strength, cunning, and courage. Death and deification. After completing the labors, Hercules dies and ascends to Olympus, becoming a god. Examples: 12 labors. 1. Kill the Nemean lion. 2. Kill the Lernaean hydra. 3. Catch the Ceryneian hind. 4. Catch the Erymanthian boar. 5. Clean out the Augean stables. 6. Kill the Stymphalian birds. 7. Catch the Cretan bull. 8. Steal the horses of Diomedes. 9. Steal the belt of Hippolyta, queen of the Amazons. 10. To steal the cows of Geryon. 11. To steal the apples of the Hesperides. 12. To steal Cerberus from Hades. Meaning, the myth of Hercules symbolizes strength and courage. Hercules is a model of physical and spiritual strength. Overcoming difficulties. Hercules' labors symbolize overcoming obstacles and achieving a goal despite difficulties. Atonement and forgiveness. Hercules atones for his guilt and receives forgiveness from the gods. Heroic ideal. Hercules represents the heroic ideal that the Greeks admired, the path to immortality. Through his labors, Hercules achieves immortality and becomes a god. Myth 5, about Tristan and Isolde. Essence. This is a story about tragic love that goes beyond social norms and duty. Tristan, a knight, and Isolde, a princess, drink a love potion and fall in love, despite Isolde being betrothed to King Mark, Tristan's uncle. Key elements. Love potion. the main element that causes an immediate and irresistible passion between Tristan and Isolde. Forbidden love. Tristan and Isolde's love is forbidden, as Isolde is married to King Mark. Betrayal. The lovers are forced to hide their feelings and deceive the king. Suffering and torment. Tristan and Isolde's love brings them suffering, as they cannot be together openly. Death. The story ends tragically with the death of Tristan and Isolde, who died together, reunited in death. Variations. There are different versions of this story, including Tristan and Isolde by Thomas of Brittany, an earlier version that emphasizes courtly love and refinement, Tristan by Geoffrey de Lannoy, a later version that emphasizes chivalry and adventure, meaning the myth of Tristan and Isolde explores passionate love, unconditional, all-consuming love that defies reason and morality, tradition and transgression, love that challenges society and its rules, loyalty and betrayal, the conflict between duty and passion, between loyalty to the king and love for Isolde, tragic destiny, the inevitability of suffering and death as a consequence of forbidden love. Romanticism. The myth of Tristan and Isolde was one of the most important sources of inspiration for Romanticism, and so our journey through myths has come to an end. I hope you learned a lot of new and interesting things. Which of these myths amazed you the most? Write in the comments. And remember, myths are not just old stories, they are the key to understanding our culture and ourselves. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell so you don't miss new exciting stories.